What is faith? Without a durable faith, nothing we say or do has any meaning. It is a confidence or trust in people, things, or God. It is also a system of belief, but not necessarily religion or even a belief in God. Faith is more than just a belief system, though. It is a system of trust. Faith, according to theologian Paul Tillich, is our ultimate concern in life. Our true faith, religion, or God, or spirituality, is whatever we obey without question, seek without limits, love without end. Faith is what lays the groundwork for who we are, for our personal identity. And without faith, we would be like a body without bones or cartilage, movable and malleable, unable to stand for anything, and most of all, we would be useless.
The movie City Slickers, there's a scene where Billy Crystal, the hero, asks an old cowboy, he says, "What is the meaning to life?" And the old cowboy looks at him and he says, one thing. And he says, "What is it?" And he goes, "That's for you to find out." The point of that interchange is to say that the purpose in life is what we make it. It's our faith. It's that one thing that we strive for, that we look for, that we seek for in our life more than anything else. That one thing is what we mean by faith. The human heart is a curious organ. Not satisfied with purposeless existence, it must know what it is here for and what it is supposed to do. From our earliest days, we ask our parents almost daily where we came from, where the stars came from, and what we will grow up to be. The rest of our life, we plan in accordance with the answers that we get then. We thirst for meaning until we find a purpose that satisfies.
Think about your life as having three dimensions to it. One dimension is the physical dimension. That has to do with your bodies and all the things that touch upon our material selves. The other dimension is the psychological or psychosocial dimension. This refers to our minds, our hearts, how we deal with other people, how we live in society. The third dimension of our life is the faith dimension. It is the foundation for the physical and the psychosocial dimension. That means it provides a basis, a way of living that helps us cope, endure, and strive in the physical and the psychosocial side. Faith is what helps us cope with changes in our system and our environment. When one side of our life, say the physical life, comes under stress, our faith must grow to accommodate the extra load. But if our faith is not well developed, if it is inadequate for some reason, then a gap occurs in our faith, which can lead to a breakdown of our whole lives, a physical breakdown, an emotional breakdown, and of course, a spiritual breakdown. Our faith and our belief ought to be the same. However, often they are not. It is possible that we can have faith in something without believing it, and it is also possible to believe in something without having faith. Belief is what we think or assume to be true. We can believe, for example, in Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster, but it really has nothing to do with our lives. Faith, on the other hand, is the basis for our lives. It is possible for us to believe in God without trusting Him. It is also possible for us to trust in a lie without believing it. Faith without belief is illusion. Belief without faith is delusion. Understanding what faith is leads to an even more basic question, and that is, what is faith for? What does it do for us? Faith is necessary when we face the complexities of life, when simple answers don't work anymore. In those times we need mature, thoughtful answers and a flexible faith. If we do not have a solid faith, then as we face life's problems and situations, we're going to lack resilience, motivation, and hope. Jesus summarized the importance of faith at the end of the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew chapter 7. He said, "Everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who builds his house on a rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against the house, yet it did not fall, because it had a foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who builds his house on the sand. The rain came down, and the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against the house, and it fell with a great crash."
In Jesus' analogy, the wind and rain represent the stresses of life. They represent illness, death, change, trouble. When events change, our ability to adapt and grow depends upon the strength of the spiritual base on which we're built. As Christians, we build our spiritual base on the Lord Jesus Christ. But everybody has to have a spiritual base. If our spiritual base is not adequate, then when our lives change, we collapse. Our house falls down because we're a house without foundation.
In upcoming videos, we will discuss what it means to have a solid and useful faith.